will try to become the most wanted man in Kingdom Come Deliverance II. From pickpocketing to breaking into merchants' shops to taking down entire guard posts. My goal is to steal 10,000 coins from all of these settlements and wipe out everyone in them. The catch is, I start with absolutely nothing. I'll have to steal clothes, food, weapons, money, a horse, and train my thieving abilities to go from a nobody to the most wanted man in the kingdom. This is the town of Troskowitz, and this is me, naked and full of dirt and blood. If I wanted to become a proper thief, I needed to wash myself first. People can detect you because of your bad smell. Close by, I found a trough full of water and managed to clean myself. But this wasn't enough.
Doesn't it bother you walking around here like some animal?
People were calling me out because of being naked. I needed some clothes to go unnoticed. Luckily enough, I stumbled upon a guard relaxing against the wall. The perfect opportunity. Had the perfect disguise. I managed to get a full set of military armor, sword, and money.
God bless.
No one was going to suspect the guard.
Why are you wearing our things? Show your stuff.
Disguising as a guard failed. It was time to go for plan B, stealing the clothes of a peasant. Looking around the town, I opened an unlocked door and got inside a house. The symbol on the top meant I was on private property, and I could get in trouble if I got caught. I rummaged around looking for anything I could wear. I got to the bedroom, where I stumbled upon some soup that helped me avoid starvation, just for the time being. Then, I found a locked chest, and tried picking the lock, but it was too difficult for me to succeed. I managed to steal a piece of bread though. After trying to lockpick a door and failing once again, I left the property. My abilities as a thief left a lot to be desired. I even entered a tailor shop.
You can't be here.
And the owner got angry with me just because I stepped behind the counter.
Get out of my sight.
He literally kicked me out of the shop. Becoming a proper criminal was not as easy as I thought it would be. I walked around town looking for an isolated target to rob. While doing so, I found a shed with some miscellaneous items I was able to grab, but no clothes at all. While doing so,
Who's that? What are you doing here? Leave, or I'll call the guard.
I made a run for it before she realized her things were missing. Second place I broke into was located up some stairs. I found a chaperone and a hood, which I took with me. But then,
What the hell is this? Why is it open?
people remember which doors are supposed to be closed, and if something is off, they become suspicious.
All right, what was that? You've no business here.
I ran away from the place before it got any worse. Thankfully, no guards were called. I equipped the hood I stole. This for sure won't draw any attention.
How bold of you. You steal
What's the
something from
meaning
us
of
and then
this?
you go
Why
walking
are you
around with
wearing
it on.
nothing?
That's not happening. You'd better pay me compensation, you blackguard.
I'm sure we can sort this out.
How dare you? We won't put up with thieves here. You'll give everything back and pay compensation, or I'll go and get the guards.
When getting caught committing a crime, things can go various ways. I could pay to settle the dispute, accept the punishment, persuade the victim, or try to escape. I tried talking my way out of it.
I'll return everything, but that compensation is going to be a problem. I don't have enough money.
In that case, we'll go and see the bailiff, you thief.
Listen, I meant to say, you crook! That's mine! I just, left it behind. Yeah, I forgot it.
I know my own property. You were trying to rob me. Well, now you'll give it back and pay me compensation. Otherwise, the law will deal with it.
It didn't work. My persuasion was even worse than my thievery skills. Only 2 options left.
I'm not sorting anything out with you.
Looks like I'll have to go and get a guard to take. Do you want me to do the same to you? Enough! I surrender! You hear me?
If I were you, I'd forget what I saw, pal.
I was so unlucky. There was a guard just right next to us.
I didn't steal anything. That's mine.
No. No, it isn't. Don't try to make a fool out of me.
Somehow, I managed to lose them. Now, I was a wanted man in Choskowitz. The authorities were looking for me. I couldn't go back now. I decided to take off the things I stole to avoid raising even more attention to myself. While making my way south, I saw some people on the road, probably looking for me. I kept my distance from them, observing from afar. But then, I overheard some grunting. Within the tall grass, I barely was able to see a couple of men fighting. When getting closer,
God be with you. You must be parched. What say you have a drink with us?
God be with you.
they invited me to have a drink. For some reason, they had no shirts on. I accepted the drink anyway.
I'll be glad to have a drink with you, fellows.
The man behaved strangely.
No worries there. I'm Borush. Me and Petska here are just honest-to-goodness labourers.
Not that it's any of my concern, but you don't look like labourers to me. What's with the weapons?
In short, we look for horses.
So, horse traders for hire?
Yeah, something like that.
I took a closer look at their camp. The horse traders grabbed their equipment from a chest. It wouldn't be a good idea to attack them now. For some reason, one of them put away his clothes again and walked away. I tried to use this opportunity to pickpocket the other one,
What's that?
but I was detected. Panicking, I started to choke one of them.
What?
Hey, you want to try me? Enough! If it's trouble you want, we can go to the bailiff. Pay for the damages, or I'll have the guards take you in.
I tried to defuse the situation.
Wait now. Hang on a mo. Be glad this is all that happened and it didn't go even further.
I'll give you what you deserve. I'll have you clapped in a pillory.
Look, I don't care.
Time to run once again. I could barely move, running out of breath constantly. My torso was injured. Nonetheless, I pushed forward, trying to use the vegetation to lose them. Not only I had a lot to learn to be a competent thief, I also needed to refine my fighting skills. But before all that, I needed to find a place to rest and heal. I wandered through the land until I managed to find some sort of farmhouse. I took a closer look.
You don't look too good.
Even the farmer could tell how bad I was.
What are you doing here?
The housemaid didn't want me there at all. Near the house, I stumbled upon a horse. Alone, no one was watching over him. It was the perfect opportunity.
There now.
With this, I would be able to get around faster, and being in the state that I was, it was invaluable. I would be able to easily explore and find a place to rest and heal. For my next destination, I knew about the whereabouts of a local miller. Millers were known to be in shady business, so I maybe could learn a thing or two. After galloping for a while, I ended up in a new town called Semin. It was quite a busy place, people going around, guards, merchant carts. I would take a better look around later. I had no money at all to stay at an inn or anything similar, so I kept riding to the miller's location. All of this time I spent on horseback made me reach a new level of horsemanship. Finally, I managed to meet Krazel.
I heard at the Troskowitz Tavern that you might have a job offer.
I reckon I could find some work for you. You'll be carrying sacks of flour.
I can do other, more useful things. I pickpocketed burgers. I could get, well, anything I wanted out of them. Do you really have nothing better I could do?
I do, but only for people I know already.
This would be a test to see if he could trust me before giving me the real job.
You won't have to buy food. We'll take care of that. And you can sleep here.
Going up some stairs behind the chimney, I lied down for 12 whole hours. When I woke up, I was so hungry I could eat a horse. Nonetheless, I headed to the sacks of flour and spent all day working,
Barely lift it.
hauling them from one place to the other.
What the hell is in this thing?
Took a lot out of me. The bags were really heavy, and the reason why, they turned out to be something else than flour. Contraband. Now the masks were off.
What are you really doing here?
I'm attempting to convert matter into a truly miraculous energy. For my experiment, I'll need something sinfully earthy. Something we'll have to appropriate. And that's something you can help me with, my curious apprentice.
I'll help you.
That's the right attitude. Now listen up. In Troskowitz, next to the tavern, there's a rat house. And in that rat house, there's a chest. And in that chest is a document I need. The catch is, the chest is under lock and key, and most likely well guarded. If you want to learn something, go and see Hensel. He'll tell you how to relieve people of the things in their purses, or how to quickly and painlessly send them to the land of dreams.
Any advice on getting in there without being spotted?
Black clothes, a play of light and dark.
And where can I get some clothes like that?
I had my outfit washed in the Gilioff bathhouse, but after a bit of disagreement, they refused to give it back. It's my gift to you. All you have to do is pick it up.
You want me to steal them?
Now the real job began. First, I talked with Hensel and asked him to teach me the art of pickpocketing.
Crazel said you'd teach me to pick pockets.
Follow me.
People usually carried a pouch on the front and another one on their back. The easy option was going from behind. The longer I took to search the purse, the more time I had to steal. But the redder the center of this symbol, the more likely the victim is to notice me.
I didn't notice you at all, and that's exactly what you want.
After successfully stealing twice in a row, we went on to try takedowns, which I did with no problem at all.
Nice choke. I'm still seeing stars.
Having this done, Hensel introduced me to their fist fights. I decided to give it a try.
If you want to fight, you have to wager something. Come back when you've got more.
And I didn't have enough money, so I grabbed some picks and a dagger from the table nearby and practiced picking the locked chest, which was quite easy and simple to do. Inside, there were more lockpicks to grab. Having learned all of these new skills, I unlocked 2 perks, one called One Way or Another, which applies penalties to anyone that manages to escape my takedown to make it easier for me to finish the job. And then another one called Fleeting Shadow, which gives me bonus to stealth, agility and vitality while being wanted. While checking the map, I realized that the document was located at Troskowitz, where I was a wanted man. So, before going there, I needed to get the thief's clothing to help me infiltrate the town by night. Semin was on the way, I could take a look around there. And so, I left the place, walking on the road. But then, bandits.
You can't get away.
I was on the brink of death. I had injured both of my legs and head in the fight. I wanted to go back and loot the body of the bandit I took down. I was able to loot the bodies freely, finally wearing proper clothing. For weapons, I now had a sword, a club, an axe, and most importantly, a bow. Before doing anything though, I went back to have some rest and heal my wounds.
Go and see the surgeon before you bleed to death.
I've had worse.
After selling the loot I gathered from the bandits to the miller, I had enough money to fight Hensel.
Even my Nan fights better than you, and she's dead. Not so hard, you're crippled. Not so hard. You fight better than I'd have expected.
Winning this fight got me 20 coins plus a new perk in the thievery skill called Nimble Finger, which helped me gain additional time faster when pickpocketing. I wasn't able to sleep much after the fight, so I decided to make my way to the nearest town instead. On the way, I stumbled upon a lonely fisherman.
What are you prowling around here for?
The perfect opportunity.
Such an awful thing. Hey! Show me your strength! Useless! Come on then! You want to kill me, you fool?
I looted everything he had. I grabbed the horse I found on the road and went back to the place. And then stored the stolen goods in my personal chest. Again, I was only able to sleep for a couple hours. I got on my horse and made my way to Semin. But then, another group of bandits appeared. There were 3. It would be a death sentence. I decided to ride straight past them, arriving into town safely. But I wasn't done yet. I wanted their loot. Getting off my horse, I slowly and carefully tried to get close to them and bait them to me by whistling. It worked. For some reason, the bandit didn't dare to enter the town, so I grabbed my bow and rained arrow after arrow on him. Now, I was able to loot even better armor than before, bit by bit getting stronger. Having washed myself at the trough, I headed north to steal the thief's clothing. After a long while galloping through the forests, I arrived at the village.
Hey, you!
Yes?
How about stretching those limbs and getting some light exercise? Shall we spar?
Someone asked to spar with me, but I was too hurt to attempt to duel now. I talked to the local innkeeper. He told me about some possible jobs.
They said a pack of wolves came after them.
Aren't wolves afraid of people?
That's what I thought too. It's strange.
After paying him to have a room to sleep for the night, I tried taking my money back from him. Unfortunately, I wasn't quick enough to take anything. So, for the moment, I just ate something from the pot. After that, I went to sleep to fully recover my health. When I woke up, I still had Dahmer's arms. I tried going to the bathhouse.
Tend to my wounds.
Great, but it'll cost you.
I paid, planning to get my money back soon.
All cleaned and bandaged up, friend. I hope next time you'll want me to do more than just wash your back.
I asked the old lady about the thief's clothes.
What'll it be, you bum?
I heard you have some clothes here that belong to Miller Crazel.
You're damn right I do. They're here waiting for him. Only I had to put them away in a chest in the loft. So I don't have to be constantly reminded of the debt Crazel racked up here. Along with Crazel's debt, it'll cost you this much, including the price of soap.
She wanted 200 coins. I didn't have that many. I tried to convince her.
Well, I'm sure I could get you the groschen. I have a feeling you prefer a more steady supply of silver.
What do you mean?
You're looking at a fellow who meets with all sorts of important people in the region.
If I was the Chamberlain, I'd throw piss on you at first sight. If you want them, you'll have to pay off his debt.
I wasn't done yet. Now I had my outfit ready. Next, I talked with a warrior called Hornet. He challenged me to a fight and to wager some money. I accepted and bet 50 coins.
You're good.
I didn't manage to beat him. My skills were not that of a swordsman. Not happy with this, I tried to pick his pocket to get my money back.
What? What do you think you're doing? Come on, man.
Thankfully, I managed to escape, but I was on the brink of death once again. Shortly after, I stumbled upon a mercenary, alone. I took everything he had, including a treasure map. Checking it out, it seems it was located near Zelejov, opposite to a lake at some cliffs. Willing to get a shovel soon. I carefully tried going back to town. It was hard to move around with my eyes full of red, trying to not get seen by the knight who beat me. I crossed the bridge and got into town. On my way to the bathhouse to heal my wounds,
Right, those things you've got on.
I absolutely forgot that I had the thieves' clothes on. And I didn't even think she would recognize it. I had to escape. I couldn't do anything with so little health. I barely was able to see where I was going with so much blood. Now, I was a wanted man in this town, too. Just when I was trying to think where to go, someone appeared with a torch right behind me. Close call. I was almost dead, and now I couldn't go anywhere near the bathhouse or the inn. Then a message appeared saying I was pegged as a thief. I officially was no longer welcome here. With no other choice, I started walking on the road until I stumbled upon a camp. It seemed there was only one person, alone.
Get over here, quick!
Things were getting worse by the minute. With no money and no health, I decided to go all the way back to Lower Semien to heal fully. With that done, I sold all my stolen items to the miller and chose a perk that let me use weapons that require more strength than I had. On the road, I killed a mercenary and took all of his stuff, which I sold once again. But then, wolves.
That was a close one. Thank you. Mind where you're going.
bastard! Oh!
Now I was a little bit closer to the 10,000 coins. But if I wanted to get anywhere, I needed to refine my abilities. I decided to sit and focus on training my lockpicking skill, gaining levels in thievery. I trained as hard as I could until there was nothing left for me to learn here anymore.
Got nothing left to learn here.
Now, it was time to go out there. The miller told me that I needed to be a ghost, to get to know people's routines, when they leave their homes, everything. I headed to Samin and waited until midnight to begin. First house I went to had a dog barking at me. There was also a guard patrolling around the road. I had to move around him carefully until finding a home I was able to enter. After successfully robbing the entire house, I checked which perks to take. One was called Thieves' Eyes, which let me know which items were considered stolen in which location. So that meant it wasn't necessary to go to the miller to sell stolen items. Next, I went to the saddler's house and dropped every single person and chest I saw. But then, when I was stealing a saddle,
Supposed to be locked!
I overheard the wife yelling, saying that the door was unlocked. They were searching for me. I walked away as swiftly as possible. Overencumbered, I started to head back. By moving around carrying heavy stuff, I was draining my strength. Here, you can see my experience going up after walking for a while. I stored all the items in my personal chest. After sleeping, I went to talk to a horse trader at Samin. I got the cheapest one for 140 coins. But then again, I wasn't gonna leave things just like that. I not only got my money back, so much more than that, but then...
Hey! Get your hands out of there! Do you want me to do the same to you? Mercy!
Things escalated quickly. Thankfully, no guards seemed to have been alerted. I got on my new horse and left the place. By buying it, now I was able to use its inventory as additional storage. I went back to store my stuff and have some sleep to heal my wounds. Since some time had already passed, the items were no longer marked as stolen. These meant I could sell them at any normal merchant and get more money out of them. I went back to Samin that night, and to my surprise, the saddler now had 2 guards posted guarding the place. This was in consequence to stealing from them. Not only that, besides those, there were even more guards patrolling around the town itself. So I decided to take a hands-on approach. The loot was absolutely insane. I managed to get away without being seen. I went back to the miller's home and stored everything. The next night, I went back to the barn where I left the bodies, and I could hear someone.
Where's that damned gravedigger? I hope someone pays for a requiem mass. Ugh, it's starting to stink.
After looting this guard, I gained a new perk automatically, called Sticky Fingers. It gave me extra money if I sold any item in pickpocketing, and also by looting dead bodies. After killing another guard, only one remained. He was leaning on a wall and didn't let his back exposed. I had to improvise. I cleaned the pockets of every sleeping person I came across, and their stashes too. But this wasn't over. There was a guard post next to Samin, full of soldiers. If I wanted to leave this place absolutely vulnerable, I needed to take them down. It started pouring rain. I grabbed the body and moved it away, while also loading what I could. Next guard I saw was posted on high ground. It was hard to get on his back. I sneaked through the place, robbing some people that were sleeping and rummaging around the food storage.
Who goes there? You're not allowed. Hey! You're not allowed. Devil!
Quick!
I trained my vitality and strength by walking back and forth over encumbered. I would need this if I wanted to fight the guards in the future. By leveling up, I increased my carrying capacity and gained more perks. All the armor and weapons I managed to steal were a huge step towards my goal, but this was just the beginning. My next target will be the tailor shop at Truskowitz. Riding through Samin, I was a wanted man here.
Stop where you are! We're after you! Quick!
But to my surprise, things had calmed down at Truskowitz. No one said anything to me there. Before starting the robbery, I got into the woods to wait until midnight. I got inside the tailor's home, got the keys to his shop, and grabbed absolutely everything I could. There was so much loot that I was over 300 points over the encumbrance limit. Not even my horse's storage would be enough for this. I had to leave behind a lot of items. Leaving the town behind and looking for an inn to stay the night, I discovered the town of Techov. While wandering around, the guard mentioned that I couldn't be without a torch in the night. I looked suspicious, so with my torch in hand, I found the tavern. I woke up the innkeeper and asked him if I could spend the night here.
Not a chance. Go back to where you came from, you wastrel.
My reputation spread all the way here. They already knew about me. I had no other choice than to spend the night out of town. The next problem I needed to solve was to find a way to sell all of the items I looted. Not every merchant bought every item. Tailors bought clothes. Weaponsmiths bought weapons. So I spoke with the local blacksmith. He would give me a place to sleep in exchange for some work. I had to make a sword to prove myself. I grabbed the materials and went to the anvil to start working. I had to heat up the metal evenly and then hammer it all the way, one heat next to the other, on both sides, going back and forth to the furnace and the anvil. After doing it all over again, the only thing remaining was to temper it. Success. Thanks to doing this, the blacksmith gave me a place to sleep at the side of the house, next to the woodshed. There, I would also find my own chest. After storing my stuff, I sold as many things as I could to the blacksmith, until he ran out of money. I had so much stuff left to sell, and there was no other vendor in town. After taking a quick nap, I made my way to the tailor shop, the one I robbed, to see if I could sell him his own stuff. When I arrived, I saw this.
What do you want here, you scoundrel?
The tailor was almost completely naked because I took everything from him. Unfortunately, I arrived late and the shop was closing. I had to wait outside until the next day. On my way back to the store, I saw a human getting off from his horse and giving some money to a homeless woman. But then he started to come at me. I quickly went to the store. Didn't want to risk all of this loot right now. While I was selecting the items to sell, I realized the trader had no money at all. He wasn't able to sell anything yet because of my robbery. Interesting. So instead, I went to the general store in town.
Welcome. You can buy everything you need from me, but excuse the selection. A few days ago, when I was returning with new goods, the horse got spooked and my wagon tipped into the pond. I salvaged some things, but the rest is now in the pond.
And where did the wagon tip?
On the roads near the Catchuck Pond, beyond Jellyoff. You can still find it there. I can't tell you how much it still pisses me off. But what can I do?
Were there any valuables in there?
You bet. Lord Samin ordered all sorts of delicacies and precious spices from me for the wedding feast.
I managed to sell the clothes to him. Then, it was basically a matter of logistics, trying to find the right vendors to sell each item for the best amount of money. I went back to sell more armor to the blacksmith and then headed to Truskowitz, where I got stopped.
Halt! Search! Show me what you've got on you.
Go ahead and search me. I've got nothing to hide.
Well, well, well. What have we here? You didn't come by this honestly, you crook. I'm confiscating everything, according to the law, and I don't want to see anything like this again. Hear me? Now move along.
The guard took only one item I had equipped, thankfully. Checking on the tailor again, he still had no money. The man had no shirt, but this time he managed to get a hat. He'll get there. I had to go to the general vendor again to sell the clothes. Thing is, the money he offered was pretty bad. Going to the mailer was much more profitable. I wondered if there was any other merchant that would get me more gold for items like this. I got on my horse and went to the unexplored places on the map to see if there were any other settlements to sell my goods. On the journey, I rescued a woman from some wolves.
For you, so that you don't forget me, and thank you again.
I got my reward, and then I stumbled upon a nomad camp. There was a merchant who I could sell to, but had worse prices than millers. Then I found a fence. He would buy any stolen goods, and the pay wasn't the worst. I sold him my stuff, but then I waited until dark to take a more aggressive approach. After robbing this whole settlement, I managed to get over 3,000 coins in my pocket, not counting all the loot I still had to sell. I didn't even have enough room in my inventory nor my horse to keep stealing. I had to leave. Back at the miller's, I slept before commencing the operation, selling all of the stolen items to Crazel. The problem was, he only had around 300 coins a day to buy my stuff. I needed to wait 24 hours before he got his money back again. So I went to sleep, sold some items, again and again and again, until I was almost halfway to 10,000 coins. But I needed more. So I went to Truskowitz and waited until dark to once again take an aggressive approach. I first got into the general store, but I needed the key to the chest. So I got into a house where I robbed the sleeping bodyguard, his chest, and the merchant. With the keys to his shop, I stole everything I could from there. After this, I went up some stairs where I found a bailiff sleeping on his bed. I stole everything from their pockets to the chests, got tons of books and money. Lastly, I went to the tailor's home. I stole his keys, looted his personal chest, and the whole shop too. I had so many things in my inventory, I had to put some of them back. With this done, I went back to the miller's to sleep. I did the same procedure, selling, sleeping, selling, until I was able to unlock the Master Thief perk. With this, I was able to unlock simple locks without the minigame. I kept selling items and letting the days go by. To pass the time, I even read all the books I stole. After days and days of this, sleeping, reading, eating, I managed to sell all of my stolen items and reach 10,000 coins. Now, the final part of my plan was about to unfold. This is how I really became the most wanted man in the kingdom.
Mercy!
It was